The air outside felt different now, even walking Ari into school, with the nice breeze caressing my arms and the hum of morning traffic all around me. I felt lighter. Malik had driven us this morning, his hand resting on my thigh the entire ride. He didn't say much, and he never really did in the mornings. But it was in the way he looked at me when I spoke, like he was listening with more than his ears. It was in the way he crouched to help Ari tie her shoelaces without hesitation, like it was second nature. The way he kissed my temple before I stepped out of the car, gentle, not possessive, like I was precious but not breakable. Ari's small hand gripped mine tighter as we crossed toward the school entrance. Her little fingers still warm from the car ride, still sticky from syrup she swiped off her pancakes. I knelt down, adjusted the strap on her backpack, then leaned in to kiss her cheek. "Be kind," I whispered, smoothing her curls back into place. "And listen to Miss Ramirez, okay?" She nodded with that same serious expression she always wore before school, like she was heading into battle. Then she leaned close and whispered, "Can Malik pick me up again?" I smiled. "We'll see, baby. Go ahead." She gave a small nod and turned, running toward the doors with her backpack bouncing behind her. I stood there for a moment, watching her disappear into the building. Just a month ago, mornings like this were tightrope walks. Rushing to get Ari to school on time, fighting traffic to get to work on time, trying to keep Ari calm during my morning rush, and trying to keep the bruises hidden. Now, for the first time in what felt like forever, I felt like an organized mother again. I turned toward the sidewalk, reaching into my pocket for my phone. That's when I heard it.
"Jada."
I froze. That voice wasn't a question. It wasn't a greeting. It was a challenge wrapped in a warning. I turned slowly. Damon. He was standing across the street, leaning against a black rental like he'd been waiting all morning. That fake-ass smile stretched too wide across his face. My heart dropped. He started crossing the street like he belonged there, like he had every right in the world to show up unannounced.
"You not gonna say hi?"
He asked, all casual, like we hadn't lived through hell together. My stomach twisted. The phone was still in my hand, but suddenly my fingers felt numb. I took a step back. Instinctual. Automatic. "What are you doing here?" I asked, trying to keep my voice calm. Even. Not weak. He gave me a look that slid over my body like oil. Slow. Shameless.
"You disappeared on me. Left our place like you ain't have a whole man waiting on you to come back."
"I'm done." I shake my head. "We are so done after what you did."
"Jada, stop this bullshit, man. Don't forget what we have. That don't go away just because you say so."
My chest tightened. I could feel my pulse in my neck, my temples. The school was behind me. Parents were walking by. I didn't want to cause a scene. I just wanted him gone. I looked down and fumbled with my phone, unlocking it with trembling hands.
"You texting him?"
Damon's voice cut sharp and accusing.
"You calling that nigga you been hiding with? Bitch, you better not been living with another nigga with my baby."
I didn't answer. Couldn't. Damon's hand shot out, fingers closing around my wrist with startling urgency. Before he could tug me closer, I jerked back, wrenching my arm free. The sudden distance between us crackled with tension.
"You think he's going to protect you? You think he's built for that?"
He said, voice rising. Then, like a shift in the atmosphere, a shadow moved across us. Malik. He didn't say a word at first, just stood there, silent, still. But the way his presence swallowed the space between us, it changed everything. Like the sidewalk dropped 10 degrees, like the ground beneath Damon stopped feeling solid. Damon turned around slowly.
"Get in the car."
His voice was low but firm. No room for debate. I didn't move.
Jada, please.
He said again, eyes locked on Damon.
Wait for me in the car.
I hesitated, caught between fear and instinct. My eyes darted between the two of them.
I won't let anything happen. Just go.
There was something in his tone, controlled, quiet, certain, that made me trust him. I nodded and turned toward the car.
No fucking way. Damon? Was Damon the one Jada had been dodging? Was he Ari's father? My stomach twisted. My blood ran cold. This the same nigga who came to me damn near begging for help over a lost drive over a month ago. The same one Jada left. And I hadn't seen it. I didn't catch it. My jaw locked so tight my teeth ached. My fists curled. Every muscle in me coiled, waiting. Why the fuck was this nigga still breathing? My mind was doing mental gymnastics the night I retrieved the drive from Sasha. I went back and forth about whether I should return it to Damon, but in the end, I decided I was done saving his ass. He was never there for me when I needed him, so why was I showing him loyalty? Let nature take its course. The drive's been sitting in the safe in my office ever since, and now I'm glad I kept it, because if they didn't kill him, I know I will if he's Jada's ex. He stopped a few feet in front of me, that same greasy smirk on his face like he had the upper hand.
Oh, wow. So you stealing from your brother now?
I didn't move, didn't blink, just stared at him, because now I knew Damon was him. Damon was Jada's ex. Damon was Ari's dad. And every inch of me was screaming to put this nigga in the dirt. Damon, I said low and tight, we're not doing this here.
What, so you have restraint now? You go and get yourself a new woman, and it just happens to be mine?
She's not yours, I snapped. He laughed, bitter and ugly.
Nigga, she's mine. She's just being bipolar as usual.
I took a step toward him, controlled, slow, like I didn't want to draw attention, like I was holding back death. You put your hands on her, in front of her daughter. You showed that little girl what a bitch her father really is, and now you show your face here.
Hey, bitch.
My voice dropped. You always been a bitch, Damon. That's the part you never outgrew. I always felt the need to take care of you as if you were my sister. Something flickered in his eyes, just for a second. Then the mask came back on.
You always thought you were better than me.
He muttered, puffing out his chest like we were still teens at our mother's houses. Because I am. If we weren't in front this school, he would be choking on his blood right now. I looked him dead in the face. Why the fuck are you still alive?
Damn, so you was counting on the motherfuckers to do me in, huh? I bought myself more time, nigga. Them motherfuckers need me alive for their operation.
He was too calm, too damn smug, like he knew something I didn't, like death wasn't even a threat anymore. I cut through the bullshit, voice flat and sharp. How much do these people know about Jada and Ari? He shook his head casually, like it didn't matter.
I never showed them off. They don't really know of them, for certain. Surely if you couldn't tie her to me, they won't either.
Damon and I wasn't close, but he knew me well enough to know I wouldn't have anyone this close to me without having them checked thoroughly. Then he looked past me, right over my shoulder, toward the car, toward her. This motherfucker was a liar. I couldn't trust anything he was telling me.
You think you can swoop in with your legit businesses, your penthouse, and erase what she and I had?
My eyes didn't leave his face. I didn't flinch. Y'all didn't have shit worth thinking about, or she wouldn't be in my bed, nigga. That line struck something. He tried to play it off, but I saw the twitch in his jaw, the flicker behind his eyes. I'm not the same man I used to be, I said low and quiet, but deadly clear. But I'm not far from him either. And if you keep showing up where you're not wanted, if you come near Jada or Ari again, I'll let that version of me out. His whole stance shifted, stiffened.
You threatening me now? Over her?
I stepped in, close enough to smell the bullshit coming off his breath. You heard me. The silence stretched, thick and tight. The air between us felt like it might snap. Then, a soft click behind me. The car door cracked open, Jada checking. I didn't even turn, just lifted a hand. I got it, I said. The door shut again. Damon scoffed, glancing back at the car like it disgusted him.
So that's it? She runs to you and now you're playing daddy to my baby?
I didn't blink. Don't I always finish the job you find too hard to complete? You're welcome, he barked out a bitter laugh.
Nigga, you think she'll want you after she finds out what happened to her daddy?
My head tilted, confused, cold settling in my gut. He read the confusion on my face.
Freddie nigga. Imagine my surprise when she showed me a picture of that piece of shit. 8 million people in this city, and he just so happened to be her father. Ain't that a bitch?
Every muscle in my body tensed like a trigger pulled halfway. He had to be lying. Just trying to throw blood in the water. He's trying to throw me off.
Nigga, wait until she finds out you're worse than me. You just do a better job at hiding your shit. Here she thinking her dad ran off to be with another family and you slit that nigga's throat.
Shut the fuck up.
How ironic we were all in the house together when you gave Freddie what he deserved. Thank God his only child is too young to remember us.
He laughed, slow and cruel. He glanced around, eyes sharp, scanning for anyone listening. No one was around us. It was just the two of us, knee-deep in the wreckage we made.
Don't believe me, ask her to show you a picture of her parents. You too busy fucking what's mine to see who she really is. She's Freddie's only child and my bitch. All that expensive shit don't hide what you are. The devil in high-end clothes, she'll leave you when she sees the truth. You and me, same blood, same temper.
My voice came out cold enough to cut bone. If you show up at this school again, or anywhere near them, I won't have this conversation with you twice. His chest rose hard, tight with breath he couldn't control. I turned my back to him. I walked back to the car, didn't look back, slid into the driver's seat and shut the door like a closing vault. My hands gripped the wheel, knuckles pale, heart hammering. Jada looked over at me, voice barely above a whisper.
You okay?
I didn't answer, just took one slow breath, deep and steady, trying to calm the storm still clawing at my chest from the inside. Jada finally broke the silence.
Are you going to tell me what y'all were talking about?
I didn't look at her right away. My eyes remained focused on the quiet street ahead, street lights casting long shadows over the hood of the car. When I spoke, my voice was quieter than usual, measured. I didn't know. She turned to face me.
Didn't know what?
I glanced toward her, then meeting her eyes fully, that it was him. That Damon, the man that was mistreating you, was my brother. Jada looked like the words hit her like a gut punch. She blinked hard.
Your brother?
I nodded slowly. He's my half-brother, I explained. Same father, different moms. Our father had both our moms pregnant at the same time. We were 9 when our dad died. Lost money he didn't have. Tried to walk away like he couldn't be touched. He was very arrogant. Got shot in the back over fucking $2,000. Jada's face froze. She searched my expression, trying to process the pieces that didn't fit together.
You're telling me all this time I've been hiding from your brother?
No, I shook my head. You've been healing, and I've been trying to protect you. I just didn't realize who you needed protection from. She turned back toward the window, her fingers clenched in her lap.
You never mentioned anyone outside of your mother. I assumed you were the only child. You said nothing.
She shakes her head. You never told me his name, I said quietly. You just called him your ex. He, him, the past. I purposely asked you his name and you withheld it. I didn't ask for more. I figured you'd tell me when you were ready. My voice faltered for a beat before I added, if I'd known it was Damon, things would have gone different from day one. Jada exhaled shakily.
Do you two talk at all? Keep in touch?
She shakes her head before I can answer.
No, that's a stupid question. I live with him. I never seen your name in his phone. In all these years, she's never mentioned you at all. When the subject of siblings came up, he made it clear he was an only child, just like me.
I glanced over at her.
I guess if things were different with his mother, maybe I'd have known about you. But she's always hated me. Like I was the enemy from day one.
She states. I nodded, voice tight. Yeah, that tracks. Damon got a lot of his traits from his mama. I didn't push it further. That road was dangerous. Our mothers couldn't have been more different. If mine hadn't been the patient, forgiving type, Damon and I would have never been in each other's lives after our dad died. We don't talk. Haven't in years. He never visited me in prison, and when I got out, he asked me for a favor and he fucked me over, I explained. She continued to shake her head. Damon's always been like that, bitter, looking for someone to blame. Always thought I believed I was better than him just because I moved different. I purposely withheld the information about Damon paying me a visit last month. To me, it wasn't significant enough to bring up. I didn't plan on telling her about her father as well. Admitting I've killed before? That was easy. Didn't even register. But telling her he was one of my bodies? Absolutely not. That feels like driving the final nail into something we have, and I'm not ready to bury us. That man and I share blood. That's it. I don't owe him loyalty. He's never been loyal to me. My mother forced us to be around each other growing up. And after today, I sure as hell don't owe him peace. Jada stares out the window. I'm not that person anymore, Jay, I said, voice low and calm. But I'm not far from him either. I can't forget about the night you showed up at my door with a knot on your head. I don't tolerate disrespect. And him showing up at Ari's school, pressing up on you like that? I shook my head slowly. Jada's gaze stayed on me, studying my profile in the glow of the dashboard lights. There was no bravado in my tone, just truth, buried in restraint.
You really would have done something to him?
She asked quietly. I turned my head toward her. I've done worse for less, I said. Jada looked down at her lap. Her fingers trembled slightly as she twisted her ring. She was visibly shaken. A tear runs down her cheek. Past and present crashing into each other with no place to land.
This is a lot.
I nodded. I know. I didn't reach for her, didn't try to smooth it over. I just sat in it with her. You're going to be fine. You'll always have me, Jay. She looks over at me, teary-eyed.
I know.
The night got a way of stripping everything down to raw edges. Streetlights flicker like bruises, and the distant hum of traffic feels a world away. The air's thick with quiet and light drizzle. We are leaning against one of the commercial buildings I own on the west side. I told Rick a few hours ago to meet me here at midnight. Rick now stands beside me, the faint glow from a streetlight casting half his face in shadow. His eyes don't leave mine waiting. I can feel the weight of this moment. No screens, no distance, just a sharp breath of decision between us. He pulls from his cigarette before saying,
It's been a minute since we had this type of meetup.
Call Eduardo, I say, voice sounding like gravel. Tell him I need Damon handled. I'll make it worth his while if he expedites it. I wanted Damon dead as soon as I turned and walked away from him at Ari's school this morning. Eduardo's been in the shadows of my life for over 20 years, just like Rick. But that's where the similarity ends. Rick and I came up the hard way. We literally worked in the streets making runs for Slim. Eduardo? He was born in the power of prestige, the kind of family that could make people disappear with a phone call and never lose sleep over it. I've cut ties with almost everyone from my old life. Only two stayed, Rick, because he was more of a brother to me than Damon ever managed to be, and Eduardo for strictly transactional reasons. When I needed certain business ventures expedited, if I need a body gone, clean and permanent, Eduardo makes sure it stays buried, figuratively or otherwise. I've only asked Eduardo to handle one person for me since my release from prison, and that person was handled 5 years ago. A pause. Not long, but enough for me to hear him switch gears in his head.
Handled?
Handled, I tell him there's a beat. I can almost hear him inhale.
I ain't never questioned you before, Leak. But are you sure?
Rick's not the type to second guess me. The fact that he does now, that lands heavier than I want to admit. The question sits there between us, and my mind slides backward whether I want it to or not. There's no way I can let Damon walk away from this not alive. No way I'm letting him get anywhere near Jada again. I can't risk him putting his hands on her, or worse, feeding her pieces of the truth about Freddie. If he starts connecting dots for her, it's over. I can't risk losing her.
Leak?
Rick's voice pulls me back. Yeah, I say.
You sure you want Eduardo team handling this?
He asks again. A memory pushes through and blurs my vision. No names, no timeline, just the weight of trauma in her voice. I didn't push, didn't ask for grave details. I knew no matter what she told me, I wouldn't like the answer. I'm standing here, one word away from making sure he never draws another breath. I think about our father. It's the only thing tying me and Damon together. Different mothers, same blood. Blood ties. What does that mean, really? Blood is supposed to matter, but I've learned it can be as thin as you let it. I wonder what Damon was doing right now. Smiling that smug smile he's always had, thinking nobody can touch him. Killing him would end it. End the threat. End the smirk. But it would also cross a line I can't come back from. My jaw tightens. I picture Jada in the doorway with Ari's hand in hers, that knot swelling on her forehead. I hear her voice in the dark saying she had a bad dream. I feel the burn of all the things she didn't say, the space between her words. I take a breath. I want him handled Castro style. I finally say, I also need you to find out the names of Jada's parents. I need a picture of them as well. A part of me was desperately clinging to the tiny hope that Freddie wasn't Jada's father. I didn't want her associating me with anything that brought her pain. It was already hard enough telling her that Damon was my brother. He struck a nerve when he said we were the same. Maybe he was right about our tempers. We both had fire in us, but that's where the similarities ended. I told Rick about Jada and Damon, their history, their connection, and he was appalled, shocked that something so significant had slipped past him, especially with all the digging he'd done. I explained that Damon had been with Jada for years, that they had a daughter together, Ari, my niece. I told him Damon was abusive. Jada never gave details, never let me in far enough to know the full extent, but the weight in her voice and the silence that followed said more than enough. Rick didn't say much, just sat there taking it all in, his expression tightening with every word. It was clear their connection unsettled him too, almost as much as it did me. He already knew Jada and Ari had been staying with me, and he noticed something was different about me, like something in me had shifted. But he never asked, never pried. Still, I wondered if he could sense it anyway, that I was out of my depth, caught in something I couldn't name. like I was walking a line I didn't know how to come back from. Rick was silent for a moment. Then he finally says,
Shit.
"Yeah. Let me know once it's done." Without another word, I turn my back and walk away.
The apartment was beautiful, clean, modern, every room drenched in soft light. The leasing agent had left me alone to explore, but I barely moved past the entryway. It should have felt like a fresh start, like the first chapter of a new life. And part of me wanted to reclaim a space that belonged only to me and Ari, where nothing echoed back Damon's name. Nothing smelled like old hurt, but I couldn't shake the weight in my chest. I couldn't stop hearing the soft clink of Malik's spoon in the morning, Ari's laughter bouncing off the penthouse windows. I couldn't stop feeling like I was turning my back on something I prayed for. Then there was the other weight, the heavier one. The truth I've been carrying like a hot stone in my gut ever since Malik explained his connection to Damon. Damon was Malik's brother. Half-brother. Same father. Different chaos. I cried in that moment. I just sat there, my chest hollowing out, staring into his eyes. My mind kept flashing back to the bruises, the blood, the fear. All of it came flooding back, not because Malik reminded me of Damon, but because the man who had shattered me and the man helping me heal shared blood. And yet Malik had never felt like family to him, not the way Damon forced himself into my life, into my skin. Still, I couldn't untangle it. Not yet. And part of me wondered if I ever would. When I got back to the penthouse, the city outside was glowing with that late evening fire. Buildings lit up, straight streets humming. But inside, everything was calm. Malik was in the kitchen, shirtless, sweatpants hanging low, cooking something that smelled like garlic and lemon. The sight of him still made my stomach flutter, and that pissed me off a little. How could he still disarm me so easily when my heart was a battlefield?
"Where's Ari?"
He asked without turning around. At Tasha's sleepover.
"You eating tonight or nah?"
He asked. I dropped my purse on the counter and leaned against the stool. Yeah. He glanced over his shoulder, eyes scanning my face.
"You good?"
He asked. I hesitated, then gave a half shrug. I looked at an apartment today. His stirring slowed, just slightly.
"You like it?"
I like it, I said. I could see myself there. He nodded slowly, took a sip from his glass.
"When do you want to move?"
I hesitated. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do this on my own.
"You know you won't be alone. I'll help you."
I shake my head slightly. The truth is, I love being with you, I said quietly. But I also wonder if I ever gave myself a chance to feel what freedom really looks like. What it feels like to walk into a space and know it's mine, not because I'm surviving there, but because I chose it. For me, his jaw flexed, but his voice stayed even.
"You're allowed to want that."
I'm scared I'll lose something if I go. He reached across the counter and covered my hand with his. His touch was warm, strong.
"You won't lose me. You might lose the version of me that watched over you like a shadow every night, but you won't lose us."
His thumb traced a slow line across the back of my hand.
"You want to build something of your own? I'll help you pack."
Tears threatened, but I blinked them away. Why are you always so good to me? He smirked.
"You make it easy."
I stood, walked around the island, and leaned up to kiss his cheek. You keep saying the right shit, I'm never gonna leave. He turned toward me and kissed the inside of my wrist. The water in the shower was already steaming. By the time we got there, I stripped slowly, watching him do the same. Every scar on his body, every line of muscle, every tattoo that marked his skin, it all felt familiar now, but not ordinary. Never that. He stepped in behind me, pressing my back to his chest, his arms wrapping around my waist like a vow. His mouth found my neck, slow kisses tracing a line from my shoulder to my jaw. I turned to face him, water pouring over both of us, our skin slick and hot. I want you in me. He lifted me before I could say anything else, hands gripping beneath my thighs as he pressed me into the wall. His dick was hard against my entrance, the heat of it making me whimper. He slid inside me slowly, painfully slow, stretching me open until my breath caught in my throat. My head dropped back. Fuck.
Look at me. Keep your eyes on me.
I did. And in that gaze, I saw everything. His need. He moved in deep, slow thrusts, the water beating against us like a second heartbeat. I held onto him tighter, wrapping my arms around his neck, legs clenching around his waist. His hand came up to cut my breast, thumb teasing my nipple, while the other pressed firmly against my ass to steady us both. I moaned his name, and he kissed me hard, tongue deep, lips hungry.
You feel that? Ain't nothing in this world that compares to you.
I clenched around him, my walls pulsing with each thrust. Leak.
I got you.
As he thrust in me, he applies more pressure to my clitoris with his pubic bone.
Come on me.
My orgasm hit so hard I almost screamed, my whole body shaking in his arms as I came around him. He groaned, face buried in my neck.
Fuck. You always do this to me.
A few more thrusts, and he was coming to, his body tensing, his breath catching against my skin. He held me there, still inside me, while the water washed away everything else, fear and longing. All that was left was us. Coming up on part 7.
What do you mean he was fucking him? Fuck Jay. Shit.
I want you in my mouth. So you won't tell me what this is?
Because the details won't help anything. I don't want you involved.